On the 7th of October last year, terrorists belonging to Hamas crossed over into Israel and murdered 1,200 people, kidnapped more than 100, injured and maimed scores, and children were among the dead. There were reports of rapes as well, and it was among the worst terror attacks on Israeli soil. Israel chose to retaliate and retaliate hard. It first launched airstrikes into Gaza, attacking several Hamas targets. This led to a lot of civilian casualties as well, though Israel's explanation was that Hamas had built a network of tunnels beneath civilian establishments like hospitals and had been using civilians as human shields.
אנחנו רואים היום את התקיפה במרחק של 2,000 קילומטר בחודדה ובסביבתה, וההישגים כמו שהם משתקפים לנו הם מאוד מרשימים, והמשמעות היא ברורה. מי שמנסה לתקוף אותנו או לפגוע באזרחי ישראל ישלם מחיר כבד מאוד. אין לנו עניין להרחיב את המלחמה, אין לנו עניין לחפש חזיתות נוספות, אבל אם מישהו יתקוף את ישראל כמו שעשו החות'ים לאחרונה בטילים ולאורך כל המלחמה בתקק ובתלשים ובכטב"מים, כל אחד שיבצע פעולה כזאת אנחנו נבוא איתו חשבון, ואנחנו יודעים לעשות את זה במקביל לדברים אחרים. ביום הזה חיל האוויר, צה"ל, תקפו גם בלבנון וגם בעזה וגם כאן, ואנחנו יכולים לפעול בעוד מקומות.
כל מי שפוגע, מנסה לפגוע באזרחי מדינת ישראל, נגיע אליו. זה הכי פשוט, ונעמיד כל ערכה שנצטרך עם כל יכולת שיש לנו, ויש לנו פה עוד יכולות רבות להעמיק, להרחיב את הפגיעה.
This was followed by a ground invasion of Gaza by Israel. In recent months, however, the war has not only intensified but also expanded. In fact, not long after Israel struck Gaza and commenced ground operations last year, Hezbollah, which operates out of Lebanon, fired rockets towards Israel.
Obviously, this is a significant escalation by Iran, a significant event, and it is equally significant that we were able to step up with Israel and create a situation in which no one was killed in this attack in Israel, so far as we know at this time. We are now going to look at what the appropriate next steps are to secure, first and foremost, American interests, and then to promote stability to the maximum extent possible.
Iran launched a large-scale attack of over 180 ballistic missiles directly from Iranian soil at the state of Israel. There were a small number of hits in the center of Israel and some other hits in the southern Israel. The majority of the incoming missiles were intercepted by Israel and a defensive coalition led by the United States. Iran's attack is a severe and dangerous escalation. There will be consequences. Our defensive and offensive capabilities are at the highest levels of readiness. Our operational plans are ready. We will respond wherever, whenever, and however we choose.
But I utterly condemn this attempt by the Iranian regime to harm innocent Israelis, to escalate this incredibly dangerous situation and push the region ever closer to the brink. Iran must stop these attacks, together with its proxies like Hezbollah.
We once again reiterate the call that we've made along with the United States, the United Kingdom, the European Union, Italy, Germany, Japan, Saudi Arabia, Qatar, the UAE, other nations as well, calling for a de-escalation.
イランによる攻撃はこれはもう認められるものではございません。厳しくこれを非難したいと思っておりますが、これが全面戦争に拡大することがないようによく連携を取ってまいりたいし、事態の沈静化に共に努めてまいりたいと考えておるところでございます。
Iran has funded and armed Hezbollah over the years, and Israel has consistently claimed that Hezbollah is very much part of Iran's proxy war against Israel, where Lebanese territory has been used to wage attacks against it.
אני מבקש לשלוח תנחומים מעומק ליבי למשפחות גיבורינו שנפלו היום בלבנון. השם ייקום דמם, יהי זכרם ברוך. אנחנו בעיצומה של מלחמה קשה נגד ציר הרשע של איראן שמבקש להשמיד אותנו. זה לא יקרה, כי נעמוד יחד ובעזרת השם ננצח יחד. נחזיר את חטופינו בדרום, נחזיר את תושבינו בצפון, נבטיח את נצח ישראל.
The intensification began with what was widely believed to be an Israeli covert operation when thousands were injured and several killed when communication devices purchased by Hezbollah were remotely detonated. This happened on the 17th of September and also continued into the 18th as well. This was backed up in the coming days by airstrikes in southern Lebanon by Israel. In one such airstrike on September 20th, Ibrahim Akil, a Hezbollah commander, was killed. He was also wanted by the United States for the US embassy bombing in Beirut in 1983. Israel achieved a massive breakthrough on September 28th when Hassan Nasrallah, the leader of the Hezbollah, was killed in an airstrike in Beirut. There was condemnation from many Arab states as well as Iran. Russia too condemned this killing. On the 1st of October, there was to be another escalation. Iran attacked Israel by firing almost 200 ballistic missiles. As per Israeli reports, these did not cause extensive damage in Israel as its anti-missile systems, along with American support, were able to neutralize the impact. However, Benjamin Netanyahu, the Israeli Prime Minister, vowed to respond.
אזרחי ישראל, אנחנו בעיצומה של מערכה נגד ציר הרשע של איראן. אמרתי אתמול שאל ימים של הישגים גדולים ואתגרים גדולים. הישגים גדולים כי סיכלנו את נסראללה ואת צמרת הפיקוד שלו ואת התוכנית של חיזבאללה לכיבוש הגליל. אנחנו נחושים להחזיר את תושבינו בצפון בבטחה לבתיהם. אבל מנגד, אתגרים גדולים. מה שאני מבקש מכם זה שני דברים. אחד, להישמע בקפדנות להנחיות פיקוד העורף, זה מציל חיים. ושנית, לעמוד יחד. נעמוד יחד איתנים בימי המבחן שלפנינו, ביחד נעמוד, יחד נילחם.
Iran on its part said that its ballistic missile attack concluded its action and that it would retaliate if Israel decided to escalate. Apart from Nasrallah, there was another big breakthrough for Israel when an airstrike on October 17th in Rafah killed Yahya Sinwar, senior Hamas leader known to be one of the masterminds of the 7th of October terror attack on Israel last year.
Big success for Israeli Defense Forces. Finally, they had been able to eliminate Yahya Sinwar, the man responsible for one of the most brutal and barbaric attack. But for them, war is yet from over. Already the Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu said that war will continue because he has sent a message loud and clear to the people both in Lebanon as well as in Gaza, because it is not a fight against Palestinians, neither is it a fight against people of Lebanon. It is a fight against terrorists, whether it's Hezbollah or whether it is Hamas. So they want to completely decimate and demolish Hamas. They do not want Hamas to raise their head. And it is because of these brave hearts that one feels like saluting them. For 1 year, they kept on looking for Yahya Sinwar. They kept on looking for Mohammed Daif, who had been hiding inside those tunnels inside Gaza. Yesterday, the moment they got information, operation was conducted. Yahya Sinwar ran towards one of the buildings. This was the unit that was responsible for this act. And the Yahya Sinwar moved inside the building. And after that, there was a firing, because of which Yahya Sinwar got injured. And then drone footage clearly shows that he was holding a stick. He tried to flung stick towards the drone. But Yahya Sinwar was killed. And you can see these men are getting ready for another battle, because the battle is far from over. Till last of the terrorists is killed, they are not going to stop. And you can see with all that paraphernalia, with all those guns, weaponry, they'll be moving once again inside Gaza. They will try to ensure that each and every Hamas terrorist is eliminated, because they know they are the enemies of peace. Till Hamas terrorists are there, they can't ensure peace for the people here. So they can do anything to ensure peace and prosperity for each and every citizen. That is what actually the Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has said, because we have to ensure safety, security, integrity of this region, and also to ensure safety of people. And here you can see these men, these brave hearts, they are ready to take bullets on their body. Once again, they'll be standing like a rock on the border. They will try to ensure that last of the enemy is killed, because their battle is continuing on different front. On one hand, they're fighting against Houthis. On the other hand, they're fighting against Hamas. On third front, they're fighting against Hezbollah. So this unit will be once again moving inside the Gaza border, where actually the enemy is hiding. Still, there are many tunnels existing. Yahya Sinwar is dead, but still there are some of those commanders. They want that each and every Hamas terrorist to be eliminated, because that way they feel that only they can ensure peace. Right now we are joined by the IDF soldier. They are one who are standing like a rock on the border. They are the one who are ready to take bullets on their body to ensure safety and security of their people. Their message is that we are fighting against the enemy, and the enemy is nothing but a terrorist, because they are the one who are trying to inflict casualty of the civilians. What will be your message to the enemy?
Our message is that we are fighting against terrorists and not against the people of Lebanon. Okay, we don't have nothing against the people of Lebanon. We have a lot of problems with the terrorists who live in Lebanon, and we are fighting against them.
So how strong and how motivated you are while you are on border serving your homeland?
We are very motivated, and we will win in this fight.
And what we want to tell those terrorists who are hiding and targeting your civilians?
We will come for you and we will kill you.
We'll come for you, we will kill you, because we are fighting a war against the terrorists. And we will ensure that the victory is going to be theirs. They are the one who are there taking bullets on their body. They are trying to ensure safety and security of each and every citizen. I think the message is loud and clear from this IDF soldier. What we want to tell your people, not to worry.
We are strong and we will fight, and we will win this war. Don't be worried.
They are firing rockets on the civilian areas. What do you think is the idea behind that?
Sorry?
They are firing rockets targeting the innocent civilians.
Okay. They are terrorists. They are fighting against the civilians. We are not fighting against civilians. We are warning the civilians that they need to go from where they are staying, and they are fighting against the civilians. And we will save.
Again, the traffic has come to screeching halt, and everybody is trying to take position at the stage. And see, all of a sudden there is a siren sound. And here you can see, traffic has come to screeching halt, and everybody is lying here on the ground. So this is normally a familiar sound, but a frightening one too here in Israel. Whenever there is such a siren sound, there's a lot of tension in the atmosphere. And you can see everybody is here trying to hide, and everybody is trying to take position. There's a lot of tension in the atmosphere. For the last 3-4 days, regularly we have seen that the rockets are being fired from the Hezbollah side. Yesterday there was a drone attack in which 4 Israeli soldiers lost their lives and 60 others were injured. So attacks from the Hezbollah sides have already increased. See, all the traffic, every car, every vehicle has stopped here in this region. And see, you can see the frightening. People are quite scared, and that is actually because the best option is, whenever there is such thing happening, the best thing is to lie on the ground, because that is the only way you can save yourself, because here the bomb shelter is not nearby. So you can see right now the frightening sound of this. See, everybody here is trying to take shelter. They're trying to hide, and traffic has stopped. All the cars and everything has come to the dining hall. The situation right now here continues to remain tense. And here you can see everybody taking shelter here. So this is the situation right now here in Israel. For the last few days, we have seen that there has been more than 300 rocket attacks from the terrorist Hezbollah side. They had been trying to inflict maximum casualty. They had been trying to target civilian population also. There was a drone attack yesterday. 2 drones were launched from across. One of the drones was intercepted on the sea by Israeli Navy. But the other drone was able to target military base in which 4 Israeli soldiers lost their lives and 60 others were injured, 7 of them critically. Right now I'm joined by Aiva. Her brother, who was serving in Israeli Defense Forces last year, he was injured during Hamas attack. On October 7, that was one of the most barbaric and brutal attack that was carried out by Hamas. When they infiltrated into this site, they targeted people, 1,600 were killed, 250 were taken hostage. But exactly after a few months, this man is trying to defend his country, Israel, by fighting against Hezbollah terrorists in Lebanon. Let me speak to her. What is that spirit that keeps you going? Because just a few months back, he was in intensive care unit, and now he is there on the border defending his country.
Well, my brother, like many others here in Israel, has the obligation, well, feels he has the obligation to defend his country, and if he doesn't, nobody else will. So that's the spirit that keeps him going, that if we don't fight, we will be defeated.
How he was injured last time?
He was shot by the Hamas terrorists who came into the kibbutz on the border with Gaza, and he was injured pretty badly, and he was in intensive care for a long time, and then he went for rehabilitation, and eventually he went back home, and he started rebuilding his life back, mentally, physically, and now he's back with his unit on the border with Lebanon up north.
So are you worried about, because last time it was a close shave with death almost, because he was in intensive care unit for so long. So how you see when again he is standing like a rock there on the border defending country?
Obviously I'm worried. I'm worried for all of the soldiers and reserve, but personally I'm worried because he's my young brother. I know he takes care of himself and he has his family, his personal family, 4 children to worry about. There is no other choice. I send him a message every day, a couple of times a day, to see, are you okay? Just to know you're okay, and that's it. And we keep going. This is our life here.
It must be a very tough time while he was lying in an intensive care unit, Beersheba, because that time you were not even sure about his survival also.
Yes, it was very, very hard for the family, especially when I was with him in the hospital, and my parents and his wife and my sister and her family were still in the security rooms waiting for the fighting to end in the kibbutz.
Since the onset of the war, as many as 18 key members of both Hamas and Hezbollah have been eliminated by Israel. But it appears that this war is far from ending. When will Israel stop? Is it enough that the leadership of Hamas and Hezbollah have been eliminated? The problem is that civilian casualties also have continued to mount.
I saw your tweet on X this morning. We got him. That's your first response on the news of Yahya Sinwar's elimination. What can you tell us about this entire operation that was carried out?
Well, I can tell you that Israeli forces have successfully eliminated Yahya Sinwar. We took him for DNA testing to confirm it was him and not another subterfuge from Hamas. He was, of course, the mastermind behind the October 7th massacre, the person to whom responsibility for every single death in this region in the last year, certainly in Gaza, should be laid at. He initiated the October 7th massacre. He was the leader of Hamas, and it marks a phenomenal victory in the fight against terrorism. It makes us safer here in Israel, but of course it makes haters of terrorism safer all around the world.
So, Mr. Mensah, I want to ask you this question. How closer is Israel in rescuing the over 100 people who were taken hostage in the October 7 attack? Is there any step that can lead to the release of these hostages?
So you're right, the mission isn't over yet. While this is, of course, a hugely significant achievement, the mission is ongoing. We've got a continued commitment to bring back all of our hostages from Hamas captivity, while at the same time dismantling Hamas rule in Gaza.
So are you hinting that if the Hamas decides to release the hostages, comes to the talking table, we could even see a ceasefire? Is that something of a possibility at this moment?
The possibility is that our war aims are absolutely clear. They are the highest priority on those war aims, as the Prime Minister made clear last night, is to get back our hostages. We want to bring them home. The pain which they feel is shared across this country, and I know amongst many friends in India have told me the same thing. All decent people around the world want them to come home. But we're taking apart this organization, both its governing structure and its military structure. And we're going to ensure that Gaza never again can be a threat to Israel.
Are you expecting another round of retaliation from Iran or Lebanon? Because Iran has said, and I'm quoting what the Iranian mission to the UN has said in a statement, they've said, when Muslims look up to martyr Sinwar standing on the battlefield in combat attire and out in the open, not in a hideout facing the enemy, the spirit of resistance will be strengthened. Are you expecting retaliation, and are you prepared for it?
Look, Navika, Iran is behind all of this violence in our region. They were the people that paid and funded and directed Sinwar. We know they're also paying and directing Hezbollah in our north, as well as the Houthis in the east, as well as the Shia militias, as well as the rockets and missiles and drones that we've received from Syria. This is a seven-fronted war. The common denominator of all of them is Iran. Now, you know, just a couple of weeks ago, we received the largest ballistic missile attack of any country anywhere in the history of mankind. 181 ballistic missiles were fired at this country. Thank God, with the help of our advanced missile defense system, together with our allies, we managed to see off that threat.
It remains to be seen how the war evolves from here on. Will there be calls for restraint, or will it further expand and intensify?